Hi there, this is Joshua from the Site App Pro team, and in this video I'm going to be going through how to create a staff training workflow for your health and safety. Now there are a few different moving parts here, but mainly I'll be focusing on how to upload your company specific documentation and PDFs so that they can be used in your forms. I'll be talking about how to create a staff training quiz, as well as just creating a module in general. A string of forms that your staff member will need to complete to log that they're trained and competent. Now the first thing that we actually want to do is head over to the resources page. If you're unfamiliar, this is a place where you can hold any external documentation and resources. The great thing about this page is you can then link these various resources into your training documents and forms. So whether it's a safe work method statement or a standing operating procedure, or even just a video training your team on how to use a piece of equipment, you can then link these different documents into your forms by using one of our answer types. And I'll show you exactly how to do this. So we want to head back over to the forms page. We can click the pencil icon against a training form that we're using. Click the question button to create another question, and then in the answer type we actually want to use the selected resource answer type. You can see here that we can then upload that resource back into the form so that it prompts our staff to actually open the resource and view the documentation when completing the form. And once we've done this, we've basically created an inventory of different documentation that we can link into our training forms for this workflow. Now, while we're inside of the form builder, I'd like to point your attention towards the quiz functionality, which effectively allows you to create correct and wrong answers for various questions. Unlike our normal form builder where they can enter whatever they want, you can actually quiz your staff members using this functionality on various aspects of your health and safety. So just to demonstrate this, I'm going to click the quiz button and let's add a question to see what that looks like. So we'll add the question and we can then determine which of these answers is the correct answer. So keep all of this in mind because what we're trying to do is create a module, a set of forms that any given staff member needs to complete to show that they're trained up and competent in the work at hand. And so let's talk about the workflow. Let's actually build one out. So the first thing we want to do is go to our forms page. We want to find our trigger form, the form that will be completed to start our workflow. So in this case, it might be a induction form or a competency form. And then to get started with setting this up, we want to open up the advanced settings tab. And from there, we can set up an approver. The approver is the person who will be overseeing the training or viewing the training and approving that it's good to go to start off the workflow. And then we want to head down to the actual workflow settings and create our string of forms that the staff will need to complete. So we can refer back to the quiz. If we're using the selected resource answer type within our trigger form, we can then use a follow-up form to quiz them on that initial form. Let's save this for now. I've just added a few forms to this. You can do this however you want. Now, how do we actually prompt our staff to complete this training? The way that I would recommend doing this is via our corrective actions feature, which basically allows you to assign specific forms to people on a whim. So to set this up, let's head over to the dashboard. We can scroll down to the corrective action summary, click the little box to open up the settings and start creating our corrective action. Now the main important part here is we want to make sure we're assigning the form to the correct staff member and that we're also assigning them the trigger form as well. And once we're ready, just click the tick and that will push through the form to the assignee that we've selected. With all said and done, you should now be able to use resources within your forms, as well as quiz your team on various aspects of your health and safety, as well as building out just a general staff training workflow. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at the email address on screen.